All right, we are live. So we just got this plane. We have not even gone inside yet. We are on episode number 16 for our NeoFly career mode, day number 24, currently sitting in North Bend, Oregon. Let's go ahead and see where we are flying to today. I know we got a passenger mission loaded up. They are waiting, ready to go. So we are going to Salem, Oregon here, the Salem Willamette Valley Airport, 106 nautical miles away, I think. Correct on the flight plan. All right, we are sitting in parking number 5. So we're going to go ahead and hop in the plane here. We'll get all the updates later on. We got a little bit of a drama that happened yesterday that we'll get into. So we're going to go ahead and get this checklist going here. Wow, this is a lengthy start process. So we're just going to advance through here to get everything turned on for you. All right, there you go. Should have our flight plan loaded up in there. We're going to go ahead and start the engine here. So we're going to hold the starter for just a couple of seconds until our NG is up to 13%. So beautiful look at this plane. We're firing up. NG up to 30% for 30 seconds. All right, so we got that. We'll auto-complete all the oil checks and everything. Parking brake. We want to remain on for now. Alright, everything still seems to be good, so we need to turn on the pitot heat. Let's go ahead and get ourselves situated with this airplane here. We're going to turn this yoke off real quick. So we got the de-ice, we got icing lights, all of that goodness. Go ahead and check our overhead here. We got the floodlight that we can turn on and off. All right, yeah, we got dashboards up here. So we got fuel pump. This is how you start the plane. We got the pulse, the navigation. Turn on navigation lights, strobe lights are on, and we're going to do taxi lights for now. Alright, so our navigation light and taxi lights are on. Check. What is off? The pulse light? Do we need that? No, we don't need that for now. We're going to turn that off. Yeah, so we're on taxi light. Everything should be going there. We're going to, at this point, contact ground for our north departure. All right. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Alright, we are going to ground service here. We're going to request a pushback because we're right in front of the building. So the first thing we got to do is move our throttle down to 0. Then we can take our parking brake off, and we're going to request to the left. And that should be good enough. Alright, we're going to put our flaps down. And we're going to taxi over to runway number 13 via taxiway A. Go to the next one here. Alright, so just a short trip here to the taxiway, which is good. Alright, parking brake is set. Throw our throttle down here. Well, we don't want negative thrust. Alright, we can leave it on taxi. That's fine. So we got negative thrust on this plane, so that is always going to be a plus here. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. So we still need the... Where's the... Pitot heat. Alright, it's not over there. That's our de-icing system, so it won't be there. Oh, I think I see it. Nope, that's the pilot heat. Nice cabin lights. There's our landing gear. Getting everything situated here. It's got to be up here. That's the starter engine, that's the ignition, engine generator, engine source, cabin dimmer, main, standby, fuel selection, AP and trim. What's this up here? Pilot's oxygen. We'll get a little view of the 9:30 that we'll be in here for, I'm hoping for a little while. At least a dozen or so trips. Pressuration. Pitot heat. We got that on, so that's should clear that off. That's left. That's right. That clears that off, so we are good to go now. Alright, so that's good to know. That's under the de-icing. So we can contact tower now for our VFR clearance.
Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha at runway 13 ready for departure, north departure. Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha wind 155 entry. North departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 13. Cleared for takeoff runway 13 Tower Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so we're clear for takeoff. We can reduce, or not reduce, we can take off our parking brake there. And we're going to slowly increase our throttle here and taxi onto runway number 13, and then we'll take off and find our flight plan. Alright, runway number 13, increasing throttle. This plane does definitely have a little more pickup than the 208B. Alright, so we're going to take off here and we're going to bank to the left and fly over this lake here.
Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha continue for north departure.
Reduce our throttle because of the torque. Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change. Seattle approach Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type number TBM 93 miles south of 1 Oscar Romeo 0 2,600 feet. Request flight following. Tower Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Seattle approaching. Alright, we'll have to acknowledge that.
Squawk 4415 Tower Golf Sierra Alpha. Tower Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact 2 miles south of 1 Oscar Romeo 0 3,100 feet. Altimeter tree 0.08.
Do we have to do anything? I don't think so. Oh, no, we do.
Roger, Tower Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, our altitude adjustment here should be that. we're going to turn on that, and FLC mode. All right, we are 100 feet above our thingamajig there, so we're going to reduce our throttle. To bring our elevation down, should be. All right, we need to increase our vertical speed here. All right, very cool. All right, so we're getting resituated here to flying the TBM 930. So far, so good. Feel pretty comfortable with it. We're going to go ahead and check our navigation, our flight plan here. So we got 98 nautical miles. We got for this leg. So we got 80 nautical miles to go here before our top of our descent. And we have everything clear here over in Oregon as far as the elevation goes. So we'll give a quick update, I think, at this point. Yeah, so yesterday in NeoFly with Kasper, he was on a mission that was supposed to be relatively short. I don't know, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was probably, I'm going to guess, somewhere around 100 or 200 nautical miles. And then I noticed that on the maps he was lost, and he was almost 1,000 nautical miles away from where he was supposed to be. So he, you know, we're hoping that everything was okay with him and that he was just out for a joyride. He is going to get one more chance there for that. So far, so good since then. He has been on track and following his flight plans. But yeah, so we had to do like sort of an emergency landing with him, get him resituated, cancel that other job, issued a new job, and he's been so far he's been following what he's supposed to be doing. And I just noticed that our gear is down, so we are going to lift that up. That should increase our speed a little bit. As the aerodynamics of the plane, there's less drag, so we're doing good here for now. We currently have our flaps up at 10 degrees. Let's go ahead and increase the throttle a little bit and see what kind of speed we can get to. I want to see the top of there, see if we have a cushion or not, like we did in the Cessna 172. Because the Cessna 208B did not have that threshold for the engine to overheat. So we are cruising along here, very fast plane. Go up to 82% throttle. All right. So if I go too fast, we're gonna not have time for updates, but I haven't seen the red thing there yet.
Seattle Center, Donner Alpha, Sierra X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, 3,500 feet.
Donner Alpha, Sierra X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, Seattle Center altimeter 30.0 will radar contact continue.
All right, so 213 cruise speed. Let's go ahead and throw this thing up there. So no red in sight. Alright, so I do think this plane is fun that it will not overheat on us, although we are tapping out on the torque, so we'll pull that back a little bit. So there you go. I think our cruise speed is going to be around 120. So nonetheless, Kasper, he didn't crash the plane. We had to do the emergency landing because he was still going to be in flight for about 8 hours. And his health-wise did not have that in him. So I'm pretty sure that we just saved the plane by having him land. And then that way he can do one more small job and then rest up and be healthy again. So that was a good thing. As far as our financials go, we currently sit at 2.7 million in cash, with a book value of all our assets, which includes the C-172 that Kasper's flying, as well as a $500,000 hangar that we bought in preparation for building our home base. So that brings our net asset or total equity up to 3.9, almost $4 million. So we're cruising along there. It's going to be a slow process for the airport, so hang in there on that, and we'll get that going. So we bought the hangar. We just got to figure out how to build it. But you know, life stuff gets in the way, and it's just going to take a moment or two to do that. But in the meantime, we'll do these flights, test around some other planes, and see what we can do there. So yeah. CJ4, we're going to do probably about a dozen or so trips with this one, kind of get acquainted to it. I know the landing is a little bit different because the wheelbase is a little narrower. I forgot I put the landing gear up. But yeah, you got to be a little more gentle with the braking because the wheelbase is a little narrower. And but so far so good. Navigation system, I feel like I'm pretty used to. Buttons are in a little bit of a different place. As you can see, we got two pitot heats now, left and right. And yeah, we got our starter system up here on the top of the dashboard. Alright, so we are following our plan there. We don't need our taxi lights on anymore, so we can probably cut those off. And then we're going to go ahead and check on our passengers in NeoFly. They're currently sitting at 76%. It is just one passenger. We're going to go ahead and serve her a drink, keep her happy. So as we go over here, it looks like we're at the top of our mountains there for our elevation, so we're clearing those just fine. So definitely faster with the cruise speed here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside of the plane. So we got the black one. So in flight, kind of a loud engine trying to speak over TBM 930 with our tail sign of ASX GSA. So Beautiful state of Oregon here. We're in the morning hours. Live weather though. So glad it's not raining. As I know they get a lot of rain up there in Oregon. I know I've been flying around this area in the 208B the other day, or over the last few days, and we've been experiencing a lot of rain. So it's good to see that it is not now. So let's see, we got 47 nautical miles to go to the top of our descent, but at a cruise altitude speed of 213, holding steady, we should be getting there in no time. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the channel here. Chat. Make a comment to our viewer over there. Sorry about that. I didn't have it up. I was sort of focused on getting this plane up and off the ground for you guys, and this is our first full flight with the TBM 930 since we received our Class C certification, so that we can actually fly this thing in our, well, at least in our NeoFly career. So that's how we're going. We've been enjoying the managing the AI pilots that we got going on. They're earning us some money to hopefully build up that home base once we figure out that. And yeah, and I've been running my own little trip, so I hope you guys have been enjoying the episodes that I've been doing here. I'll keep them coming. We just wrapped up the other recordings that we're doing is some homemade bush trips, and we just wrapped up our Tokyo one today. And I actually went ahead and posted that early, since we had that going. So that was leg number 10, final destination to Sapporo in Japan. So that was a fun one. We'll have to plan out the next ones. I know I want to do the Florida Keys. That one's going to be pretty short. We'll do that in the 170, in the Cessna 172 as well, just like the Tokyo trip, just because this thing is super fast. And if we were to do the Florida Keys in this, we'd be there in about 10 minutes. So we'll go ahead and just enjoy the view, use some Bush Talk radio, and find out some sightseeing stuff. So check out some of those bush trips if you haven't. And we have been doing that. So the first one that we did was the in-game one for the Yosemite bush trip. That was a long one. I think that was 25 legs. And then we created our own, per our request from our friend over in Belgium. And yeah, we're going to be doing a mix of those bush trips and our NeoFly career. So lots of stuff going on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming out in about a month. It might be a month to date. I don't remember if it was the 15th or 17th of November that it was coming out, but it's coming out soon, and we're contemplating getting that to see what that's all about. I know the computer requirements on that is pretty hefty, so we're just making our decision whether or not we should get that or not. I don't know if our computer can handle it. We got a pretty decent computer, I think, but the system requirements has definitely stepped up a little bit. We've been watching some news on that. So yeah, so we already have 31 nautical miles to go to the top of our descent. So yeah, this thing is cruising along. Looks like there might be a little bit of rain to the left of us there. Let's go ahead and drop our view a little bit and look out the window. Yeah, there was a little bit of rain, I would say, back there, but we just sort of bypassed it unintentionally. And while we're here, let's go ahead. Nice. That was our flight attendant finishing serving the drink. Keep our passenger happy, increase the reputation of our pilot, which is the other thing that we're working on in our NeoFly career. Alright, so we're going to take this landing a little easy since this is the first full flight with the 930. Even though we kind of did gun it a little bit over here. But we are looking at an estimated time of 14 minutes to the runway. And as we approach... Yeah, I would say in about 4 minutes, we're going to reduce our cruise speed and start getting ready for our landing. Give us plenty of time. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. It is 5 a.m. here. And I've been up for a minute recording that Tokyo bush trip and then getting that thing recorded and up ready for upload. And then we went around shopping around for this plane and everything in NeoFly, so that took about a couple of minutes to do that. So alright, 2120 now nautical miles to the top of the descent. So we're going to go ahead, and since that seems to be cruising along at a very fast clip, and that's crazy that we got flaps up so we can actually go a little faster, but we're going to reduce our speed here. Definitely not to taxi, but we're going to pull that back just a little bit. Let's find out where the white arc is. So that we can safely land the plane. Alright, altitude check is good. We're still holding 3,500, reducing speed down to 171 and dropping still. Looks like we're leveling out at 1. No, we're still dropping. All right. 14 miles to top of descent. Dropping that down to 30%. There's our white arc. So our white arc starts at about 120 knots. So yeah, you do have to drop that down pretty far. Yeah, so once again, I think we're going to... Yeah, Salem, Oregon is our destination here over at Salem Willamette Valley Airport. So a little more rain over there is to the left. Looks like we might be hitting some up here. It'll be interesting if our first landing is going to be in the rain. But that's the chances you take here in northwest, in the northwest of the United States. They get a lot of rain. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our airport here, figure out what we're doing. We're landing in runway number 34. We haven't heard from ATC in a while. 25 nautical miles away. Let's go ahead and see if we can select our airport here. We're looking for KSLE. Not on the list yet. Not on the list yet. One more. Two more. All right, unless we missed it. KSLE. Kila. Yeah, it's just not on the list yet. Interesting, because I feel like we are close enough where it should be. But it should pop up as we get closer, and then we'll tune in and get our landing instructions, which I'm hoping is runway 34. That's what we put in the flight plan. KCVO. Kila. Yeah, so it really is not there. So maybe we won't be, do they have a comm? Yeah, they got comm over there. Alright, so we're sitting at that. We're going to reduce our altitude to about 2200. And we'll start our descent now. There's KSLE. Tune to tower.
Salem Tower, Donner Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is 18 miles southwest, 3,000 feet with Quebec to land.
Donner Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Salem Tower. Altimeter tree 0.02 and comm make left base runway tree 1.
Enter left base runway tree 1, Donner Golf Sierra Alpha.
All right, so we got left base 3-1. Which is pretty close. We originally had runway number 34. But they want us to go to runway number 31, which is just off to the right. So it's not too bad. Alright, so we are at the 2,300 feet. We're going to drop our landing gear down. There. There you go. Alright, landing gear check. Alright, so we're currently sitting at... Let's go ahead and change the weather a little bit. We don't want our first flight to be in the dark. Especially when we got a different runway. So what we are going to do is, for the rest of this flight, we're going to take autopilot off. Let's go ahead and take manual control of this thing. We want to have a little bit of fun. So, autopilot is off. Airport sits up and to the right, or up and to the left a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and turn autopilot back on for one moment, and I'm gonna draw some I'm gonna draw some stuff on our nav map here. Alright, so we're going to turn heading mode on. And we're going to bank over to the right. And then we want this to be 62 degrees. Not yet holding. Probably just adjust it to 66. All right, so our approach is going to be 135 degrees. Or 136, maybe. So we're basically drawing our own route, and I'm following it on our nav map. Speed check is good at 119. We're gonna go ahead and line up for the runway. Oh, it's the opposite of 130, 136. because I had the measurement backwards. Alright, so we should get there. Get this a little closer to the path here. We're looking to land on runway number 21. Go ahead and reduce our altitude here a little bit. We got clearance.
Clear to land runway tree 1, Donner Golf Sierra Alpha.
And adjust our heading. We'll get the runway in sight. We're going to be a little bit to the right. There's the runway. We can reduce our altitude a decent amount. We are 3.5 nautical miles away. Actually, just going to go ahead and turn autopilot off so that we can do our descent and our alignment at the same time. Reducing throttle. Move that out just a little bit so that we can watch our speed. Yeah, I know. I was coming down pretty fast. Speed dropping as we pull up a little bit. 100 knots is good. It's a medium length runway. I think it's around 5,000 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and taxiway out of here. We'll contact ground for handoff. Yeah, the plane does get up and go pretty fast.
Salem ground Donner Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to parking.
Donner Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway tree or cross runway tree 1 Bravo.
Yeah, we were cruising along pretty good, so we actually already did the taxiway. We're just gonna find the spot over here and call it a day. I did copy. I'm just gonna go ahead and park. Alright, parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and just acknowledge that taxi.
Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha cross runway tree 4 cross runway tree 1 Bravo Donner Golf Sierra Alpha.
All right, so we should be good here. Go ahead.
Transporter. Disembarking of passengers can begin.
Engine runs down to a wind here. So there you go, the TBM 930. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. I know I enjoyed flying that one. That thing is a quick little plane. So we're up in here in the northwest of the United States. We're in
Okay,
Oregon.
pilot, that's all the passengers off the plane. Thank you. Over and out.
Pretty sure everybody was happy. Let's go ahead and check our log here.
Start your engine.
Oops, not that one. This one. So our landing here over in KSLE was minus 187. Not too bad. About 7 points higher than I would have liked. But still not too bad for the first full flight in this plane. So once again, guys, I do appreciate you tuning in. Check out the homemade bush trip. It is the last leg of our Tokyo trip. So there was 10 in total. We knocked that out this morning. Then we're gonna plan some next ones. We'll probably do the Florida Keys in the Cessna 172. So we'll get that going, planned out, and ready for your enjoyment. So we'll see you later. Have a great day, everyone.